Positive youth development. What does it tell you? First thing it tells you is that we matter. Kids come in for the content, but it's the people that changes their lives. Boys and Girls Club, people come for our basketball courts and for our pools and for our computers, but that is not what changes a life. What changes a life is the people. People are walking in your doors for an education, and believe me, that is important. But for those kids who need you the most, it's not what you teach, it's who you are that is going to make the ultimate difference in their lives. Young people need to feel valued. We have to see them as the experts on their own lives, and they have to learn that their opinions matter, right? So even your 4-year-old, even your 6-year-old, that kid knows more about their life than you ever will. Next, youth are often the best teachers and role models for other young people. You might be familiar as educators with the classic study. They took 5th graders who were low readers, and they tried to figure out how they could raise their scores. And they tried many different models. They tried the best teachers in the school. They tried tutors. They got the smartest kids in the class to teach the other kids in the class. What worked better than all of that? What worked was going to the 10th graders and saying, you know what? There are some kids in the 5th grade. They might be your little brothers or sisters or your cousins or your neighbors, and they really need you because they're not getting this reading thing. We really need you to get this reading thing so you can teach them and to prepare them to become tutors. Whose scores go up? Both. Because it's about having a sense of meaning and purpose for the 10th graders, and for the 5th graders, it's about knowing that they, in fact, people like them can succeed. Next, adults can be instructive and supportive in kids' lives, but kids have to choose to carry out their activities as independently as possible. And there's nothing that discourages mastery more than an adult saying, hey, let me do this for you. Because what is the implication there? You can't do it yourself. This one is really important to me. This is a Ginsburgism. It's not really part of the theory, but that is that adolescents are still capable of healing. And they do so best when caring adults trust in their capacity to write themselves and facilitate that writing. Let me tell you where we're at. We are fighting for resources. Everybody who cares about children should be screaming that we're fighting for resources. But even within dollars for children, we're fighting for resources. And the adolescents are largely losing. Why? Because when you hear what I have to tell you about childhood trauma, you'll understand that early intervention in 0 to 4 is probably going to make the biggest difference. As a result, there are people who are really questioning whether we should invest in this generation of adolescents. The answer is an emphatic yes. I had this discussion about 2.5 weeks ago, actually, with the UN, who is going to be doing UNICEF, who's going to be doing a lot of trauma-invested stuff. And the question is it still worth it? Yes, for 2 reasons. One is that adolescents are absolutely still capable of healing. It is the time of massive brain development. And second, while we can't undo a lot of the harm done, we know that, what we can do is change their behavior. We know that. And guess who adolescents are? They're the next set of parents. So to throw away a generation is like really dumb. All right? All right. Everything that we fear serves as coping strategies. We already talked about this, and telling kids what not to do simply is not useful. And finally, youth watch our behaviors so closely. They watch our actions speak so loudly that kids don't hear a word that we say, right? It's all about what we model. That is essentially the positive youth development model.